Nigerians, are you going to trust, especially those in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa State? Do you trust INEC this time around after everything that played out during earlier this year, during the first set of elections we had? Nigerians, Lagosians, Bayelsans, Imosians, Kogisians, and all the Hoshians, are you going to trust INEC this time around? They are coming out with another promise. They are coming out with another word of assurance. Should we trust them? Should we just give them a shadow of doubt, or should we just allow them be, allow them breathe? Should we trust them, or should we just give them a shadow of doubt and say, okay, let's see if you're going to fulfill your promise this time around? Are you going to trust the process? Do you trust what INEC is saying this morning as regards the upcoming election in Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo State? I'd love to hear from you via the comment section and also via our WhatsApp platform. The number is displayed on the screen, 09133 833 Let's move to our next story this morning. Why are we conducting stop and search at Lekki NDLEA? Now, the reason why I chose this story to be discussed this morning is because, sometimes our law enforcement agencies have this over-sabitious attitude in them. They have this spirit of over-sabi, overdo. God is the only one that has the ability to overdo, all right? So the reason why I brought this to the table talk this morning is because I want to use this opportunity to appeal and point out to them, irrespective of the fact that, yes, you are doing a good job and the intention is to curb corruption. Your intention is to curb and reduce the high level of hard drugs and illicit drugs and all that's on the streets, and also in Lagos in Lagos and also in the nation in general, is very important, very, very important. But please, and please, in as much as you're carrying out this exercise, stop and search, please, let's try to avoid overdo. Let's try to avoid infringement of human rights. Yes, because some point, we don't want a situation whereby people would be abused, people would be embarrassed, people's rights would be trampled on. All right. So it is very important, even as you carry out your duty in the LEA, it is important that as you carry out your duty, please, it should be done responsibly. It should be done within the confines of the law, respecting human rights and also not infringing on their rights, because we know how these things would usually play out at the end of the day. So please, let us try as much as possible to make goodness more attractive and try as much as possible not to infringe on people's rights, even as we carry out our duty as NDLEA. Why am I using our? Am I part of them? The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has cleared the air on the presence of its operatives at Admiralty Way, Lekki, Lagos State. The agency, while responding to an inquiry by the comedian Bright Okpocha, aka Basketman, on Saturday, revealed that the stop and search exercise was to protect residents from the activity of drug dealers and disrupt supply chain of illicit substances. I'm going to take that line again. Revealed that the stop and search exercise was to protect residents, number one, from activities of drug dealers, and number two, to disrupt supply chain of illicit substances. That is the word you are working with. That is your watchword. That is what you should concentrate on. So let's try as much as possible not to be over sabitious in our duty, in playing out our duty. All right. The comedian had tweeted late Friday, "Are you people aware of the stop and search going on currently in Admiralty Way in Lekki by members of your force? Hashtag NDLEA_Nigeria. All right. The response on NDLEA's X page on Saturday read, "Thanks, hashtag basket_mouth. The men are on authorized duty based on intelligence. Their presence there is not to is not a regular occurrence. It's part of efforts to protect residents from the activities of drug dealers and disrupt supply chain of illicit substances. The cooperation of all is key. So I'm also going to use this platform to appeal to residents and everyone. Should in case you come across the stop and search by NDLEA, try as much as possible to comport yourself. Try as much as possible to cooperate with them and just play along. If you have nothing to hide, if you don't have skeleton in your cupboard, in your wardrobe, you have nothing to worry about. So if you eventually come across any of the NDLEA operative officials stopping to search you, please cooperate with them. Try as much as possible not to be rude. Try as much as possible to operate with them, to cooperate with them, to ensure that their duty is carried out with some level of professionalism. And also want to reiterate once again that the NDLEA officials, please carry out your duty professionally and with some sense of responsibility as well. All right, before I take my first break this morning, I'm going to take this the third story. Please, what are your opinions on the first story, the second story? I would love to hear from you. Do you believe that INEC is going to fulfill their promise that they've made towards the forthcoming election, November 11 in Kogi, Imo State and Bayelsa? Do you believe they are going to fulfill their promise? What is your opinion? What is your take on NDLEA's stop and search? I would love to hear from you. Government urges workers to prevent fire outbreaks in offices. Government urges workers to prevent fire outbreaks in offices is my third story this morning. The Lagos State government has called on all its staff to do their best to prevent fire outbreaks in government offices and at their various homes and also in private offices as well. The Permanent Secretary Office of Political, Legislative and Civic Engagement, Abiola Kosogbe, made the call at the weekend during a fire prevention and sensation program organized by Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service held at the Secretariat Alausa. A statement said on Sunday. Kosogbe, who was represented by the Director Political Directorate, OPL and CE, Mr. Ayodeji Aruna, stressed that it was important to prevent fire occurrence and also mitigate fire outbreaks in the workplace, home, and every part of the state as responsible citizens. Yes, it is very, very important. This is to use this opportunity to call out on all our organizations, from hospitals to supermarkets to office spaces, everywhere. We should have preventive measures. Should in case there be a fire outbreak, we should have emergency alarms, fire extinguishers, and I want to use this opportunity to call out on every workers. Try as much as possible, everyone in your homes, in any and everywhere that you find yourself, try as much as possible to avoid every and anything that would bring about fire outbreaks. We can't afford to continue losing. Also in our markets as well, there was a time in this Lagos where fire outbreaks in marketplaces was a thing. It became very popular. It became a regular thing, and it's not something that is so good to hear. It's not a good occurrence. So we should try as much as possible, especially in our marketplaces. When you go to our marketplaces, people will say God forbid, but in as much as God will forbid, we also have a very important role to play in ensuring that fire outbreaks is prevented to a high and a large level. And we should also have preventive measures. We should also have preventive instruments like fire extinguishers, running taps, and all that thing that would help us to curb fire outbreak. And also our lifestyle, our attitude, our approach, our manner of approach to appliances and all that thing, electrical appliances, electrical connections, and all that thing that can bring about fire outbreak. We should try as much as possible to be 100% conscious of ensuring we do not have fire outbreaks in every and any of our centers, from offices to marketplaces to business centers and so on and so forth. The principal fire officer, LSFRS Lawa Aina, during the session said Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has sent us to sensitize every member of staff to the technicalities involved in firefighting to ensure the safety of everyone. This is also good. It is also good that I point out that, business owners and office holders, heads of departments, GMs, owners of captains of industries, owners of business places should also train their staffs. Yes, it is important. Also in our marketplaces, we should have special trainings on how to combat fire outbreaks in order to avoid it, going beyond every form of damage. So we need to, teach our staffs. We need to train everyone. We need to, even if you don't have that opportunity to get trained in your organizations, go on YouTube, how to, fight fire, how to, prevent further destruction, further fire outbreaks, how to, just emergency palliative measures, ways to curb fire outbreak. And eventually, if there is any fire outbreak, you know how to, just manage the situation. I'll take a quick break and then I'll be right back. We'll continue our stories this beautiful Monday morning.
Looking for a studio to run online radio shows, podcast series, record jingles? The Cedarwood Luxury Studio is highly equipped and available to give you the very best of studio experience.
Yes. All right, you're very much welcome. Let's continue with our stories this morning. Do not forget, this is Table Talk. It comes your way every Monday morning. What we do right here on Table Talk is we look into different stories making the rounds. We carefully select a few, bring them to the fore, give you the opportunity to talk about them, to add your views, to share your opinion. And this is what we do this morning. This is what we do every Monday morning by 10 a.m. Let's move on to the next story. We have this beautiful Monday morning, quite funny. Ijego community calls on Lagos government as hoodlum demolish shrine. Now, I'm surprised why the community is calling on the government as hoodlum destroys shrine. Okay, let's just dive deep into the story and see what it has there. Indigenes of Ijegun Egba, Ibasa, a riverine community in the Oriade local government area of Lagos State, have called on the Lagos State government and the police to save them from constant attacks on their community. Over 200 armed hoodlums invaded the Lagos town and demolished the community shrine. Oh, how dare you! You have no regard for the gods. You don't have respect for the gods? Oh my God. Oh, the gods are not... Even the God self cannot defend itself. What kind of gods is... Oh my God. Which kind of Gen Z? Oh my God. Not Gen Z gods. The gods are supposed to... Okay, let's continue. Don't mind me, I'm just being sarcastic, but... the gods are supposed to protect themselves. So over The residents, including a 120-year-old woman. Wow. Alaba Malik stated that besides the constant use of military personnel and armed hoodlums to attack them, some residents of the town have been killed and others incarcerated in an attempt to forcefully take over their town. The residents, however, blamed the people of neighboring Ibasa Island for the constant attacks on them. One of the leaders of the community, Prince Raji Teslim, while speaking with newsmen over the weekend, said they are trying to forcefully take over our lands. They are strangers that were accommodated by our forefathers. He stated just on Friday, the people of Ibasa led over 200 armed hoodlums to our community to demolish the community shrine. 3 years ago, they came with thugs and attacked us. They killed many of our people. Many of our sons are still being kept in prison for speaking against the plan to take over our ancestral homes. The community leader also stated they bring soldiers, naval personnel, and hoodlums to attack our people. The government should come to our aid. The river has demarcated Ijegu Egba from Ibasa. Why are they coming here to attack us? Oh, wow. This is even more serious than I thought. Please, I would love to use this opportunity to appeal to the Lagos State government and our law enforcement agency to do everything possible to bring peace, to bring peace and calm to that very community. Please, it is very, very important. If you reside in that environment, or you have or know anyone that resides in that environment, I would love to hear from you via the comment section or the WhatsApp platform. All right, let's move on to the next story this morning. Lagos government seals Ajah market over Ajah markets over waste disposal offenses. All right. Yeah, let's take this story. Let's take this story quickly this morning. The Lagos State government has shut down Ogba City Mall, Ikeja and Ajah Market at Tiosa over various waste disposal offenses. The action was carried out by a combined enforcement team of the Lagos State Waste Management Authority, LOMA, the State Task Force on Environmental Sanitation and Special Offense, LASMA, and the Lagos State Government Special Environmental Corps, KAI. This is contained in a statement by LOMA spokesperson Folashade Kadiri on Sunday in Lagos. Ms. Kadiri said shanties and illegal traders structures around the Ajah BRT corridor and the Ajah Jubilee Bridge were also cleared by the enforcement team. I think when I'm going home this morning, I'm going to check around that Ajah to see this recent developments. Yes, I'm going to check around that axis to see this recent development. Commenting on the development, Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahib, said the enforcement was a continuation of the administration's onslaught on field indiscriminate waste disposal by markets and business facilities across the state. We have continuously warned business owners we have continuously warned business owners to expect action if they refuse to do the needful to sustain the environment. He said, the commissioner said, the governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu-led administration would not relent in pursuing the lofty objective of the overriding public good. The managing director of Loma, Mayowa Bedegesi, said the zero tolerance campaign was a continuous one, advising markets and business stakeholders to take steps to ensure clean and hygienic premises. Number one, how can you be doing business in a dirty environment? How many of you know Ikotun Market? How many of you know Ikotun Roundabout? How many of you know Ikotun BRT Park, aka Peace Avenue? And people are selling food there. You are selling consumable goods there. Irrespective of the kind of business you are doing there, you want your environment to be dirty. No, no, no. Even me, I will not agree. I'm not going to agree. Apart from Aja, Ogba, and other places, let's go to Ikotun, let's go to every other market, Oshodi as well, everywhere. Our marketplaces must be clean. Our marketplaces must be clean. It is a must. And anyone who is not ready to comply, anyone who is not ready to do business in a clean environment can close up and go back home. Yes, that is all I can say. That is all I can say for that. If you're not ready to do business in a clean environment, please pack your bungongo, pack your load, and go back home. When you're ready to do business, when you're ready to comply with the rules and regulations of the land, of the marketplaces, the business places, then you can come back and would welcome you. Let's take next story. Court restrains labor unions from embarking on strike in Imo. You see, labor and strike, they are twins. This one is not 5 and 6, they are twins, identical twins. An industrial court sitting in Owerri, capital of Imo, has issued a restraining order to labor unions from embarking on strike in the state. Nelson Ogwanya, all right, the residing judge heard the submissions of parties in the matter on Friday. The defendants in the case were the Nigerian Labour Congress NLC, Emmanuel Ugwaja, NLC Secretary General, Trade Union Congress TUC, and Nuhu Choro, TUC Secretary General. The Imo State government and the Attorney General of the state were the claimants in the suit number NIC OW412023. Ogwanya said parties in the matter were yet to reach a settlement on their disputes, considering the court's duty to ensure that labor disputes and related disagreement between the parties are not allowed to escalate and adversely affect the interest and well-being of the citizenry and third parties who are not involved in labor disputes already submitted for adjudication in the pending suit in the courts, Ogwanya said. Well, I'm glad about this recent development, and I would appreciate the court for dismissing this planned protest. I think it is becoming unbearing. It is becoming, yes, irrespective of the fact that they have reasons for protesting, irrespective of the fact that, yes, they have enough reasons for protesting. But in my own opinion, I don't know about you, feel free to disagree with me. In my own opinion, I think that protest was absolutely not necessary. But I mean, I don't have full details of the reason why they wanted to embark on that protest. And for the courts to dismiss that protest, I think it is also for the good of the environment and also good for the citizens as well in that particular environment. All right, I think let's take the last story for this morning and then we'll draw the curtain here. All right. Experts urge tax reform in real estate to boost home ownership. Experts urge tax reform in real estate to boost home ownership. Notwithstanding the numerous challenges impending house sector growth and access to homes by Nigerians, a major issue is the multiplicity of taxes which affect developers and building materials producers in end product delivery. Experts say industry tax reform and interventions will improve home ownership. Governments at federal and state levels have been urged to review existing tax in the real estate sector as part of ongoing tax reform to deepen housing accessibility from the country. The operatives also demanded interventions for building materials manufacturers and property developers to increase home ownership rates. Property tax has over the years remained a vital source of revenue for the government across all levels. And essentially, Where did you jump to now? Essentially, such taxes are imposed on home ownerships based on their worth. In most cases, the Board of Internal Revenue is charged with the role of tax administration in the states such as Lagos, Kano, Enugu states, Ondo, Bauchi, Abuja, and Borno states, among others. The tax policy rates range between 0.14 and 3% of the property's assessed value in states, while the local governments also collect tax for public service such as roads, schools, hospitals, and more. Property owners are expected to pay property tax yearly or risk fines and penalties for default. But the duplication of taxes, the valuation method, the discriminatory rates, and inclusion of grand rents have become a burden to operators in the real estate sector, making Nigeria's home ownership rate to be behind nations like the United States of America, with ownership rate of over 60%. In Africa, South Africa boasts of a home ownership rate of 67.7%. In Benin Republic, with home ownership level of 61%, and in Kenya, the home ownership rates hover around 73%, while Nigeria stood at about 20%. The nation's real estate industry has also been heavily impacted by economic instability and inflation. Inflation rate in Nigeria increased to 26.72% in September from 25.80% in August of 2023. The Guardian learns that the real estate tax is based on properties' assessed value on the chargeable properties, including land building and improvements on fences or landscaping. Taxes are charged on residential property, commercial property, land-specific improvement to land such as retaining walls and fencing, any mineral rights associated with the property, and any fixtures of equipment fixed to the property, as well as intangible properties such as business leasehold improvements. Ooh, this is really amazing. Experts urge tax reform in real estate to build home ownership. It is very, very important. And like I said some time ago, when the real estate industry is impacted positively, when the real estate industry is having a good experience, let me put it that way, it would at the end of the day impact the economy of the nation. So it is key that we begin to look out for ways, we begin to bring out and apply measures which we can use to improve home ownership in Nigeria. The level of, there is a huge deficit when it comes to home ownership in Nigeria, and it is very important, from taxes to government policies and all that thing affecting home ownership. It is important that we have a review. And begin to, bring out policies, implement policies, bring out measures that would improve home ownership in our beloved country, Nigeria. Let's keep the conversation going even after the end of this session. Yes, I'll be in the comment section to engage you. Which of this story interests you, and what are your opinions? What are your thoughts on any of these stories? Keep the conversation going even after the end of this session. Thank you very much, everyone, for being a part of us. Join us once again by 1 p.m. this beautiful afternoon. Yes, by 1 p.m. this afternoon, we'll have a great conversation that we'll be having today, 1 p.m. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. You also want to be part of that session. It would be by 1 p.m. We'll have a guest this beautiful Monday afternoon, and we'll be talking about how P1 Group business model has impacted started my real estate career would be having Mrs. Chinwe Ogwaka this beautiful afternoon live right here on Cedarwood Luxury Radio. For now, my name remains David. See you again by 1 p.m. and God bless.
I'm at Future Town by Cedarwood along Monastery Road, Shango to Lagos. My name is Emmanuel Madueke. Lagos is #1 fastest developing state you can see in Nigeria. Future Town by Cedarwood is a development by D1 Plus. This is an amazing estate in the beautiful city of Lagos. If you are looking for a property you get 100% return on your investment, this is the perfect estate for you to invest. Future Town by Cedarwood, located along Monastery Road. Just 3 minutes drive to ShopRite. This estate has good land title, C of O. My smart investors, you don't need to wait, because very soon this estate will appreciate in value. We are still selling it to 25 million naira for 450 square meters. We have an amazing features in this estate. Electricity, we have good water here, we have security, estate guest house, and infrastructure development has already begun in this beautiful estate. You don't need to wait. Grab this wonderful opportunity by becoming a landlord in this beautiful estate. Congratulations for subscribing to this wonderful estate, Future Town by Cedarwood.